My name's Daniel Mclaughlin. I've no idea why I keep on doing this audio journal. Am I fooling myself, holding on to something normal? It's been 10 days since the fall of civilization. The streets are quiet, deathly so. Cars lined up on the freeways. The stench of the rotten corpses. I used to be unaware of their stench until I opened my window. I used to be the owner of a large recording studio. That is until the dead appeared. We had an annual Halloween party at the farm. When my assistant arrived, blood-stained and looking pale with a red bite mark on her neck, my first thought was, wow, I wonder where she got her makeup from. No time did I think anything was wrong. I mean, it was a Halloween party, for crying out loud. I waved her over, but to no response. She just started snarling at me. I told her to quit fooling about and get on with her speeches. She growled at me and started stumbling over to... I thought she was back on the bottle. Jenna was a raging, violent alcoholic, and it brought me into awkward encounters more than one occasion. This time seemed no different somehow. But if I only knew. Just as I started towards her, I heard a fearful scream next to me, finding Brad, her financial manager, sinking his teeth into his fiancée, ripping out her throat. I was stunned with shock, felt as if my feet were made of marble. Everything started moving in slow motion. I could feel the darkness coming over. And then it went black. I woke up with my security detail, Steve, giving me a slap, and apparently continuing to shoot at the crowd not a few feet from the stage. Apparently he must have carried me up there to get me out of harm's way. It was only me and Steve now. He shouted that he would have to get out, that we both had to get out. He handed me his revolver and kept on his ankle. We went to the shooting range and sparred to make sure I could defend myself. I shouted that we should go to my office, and he started leading the way. The crowd was a frenzy of blood and growling. They must have all turned or be dead, as I could hear no more screaming or see any trace of human movement. I ran up the stairs into the forklift. Steve, a few feet away, ran towards me when Jenna reappeared, grabbing Steve's arm. I lifted up the revolver and shot her in the eye, her brain splatting against the plot plant beside her. I've never seen so much blood. What on earth was going on? However, I had no time to think on it. How I killed my friend of 20 years. But the whole crowd was looked up from the corpses and started moving towards us, all the while growling and shuffling along. I pressed the button for the top floor where my office was, and as the doors closed, I prayed that we would survive this ordeal. As the doors closed, Steve turned to me with a pale face, saying he was scratched. He lifted his shirt to reveal scratches that exposed his rib bones. He explained that while I was out, he saw people getting bitten, go limp and turn in minutes. He told me to end it. I could see his eyes tearing up as the elevator doors opened. However, in the corridor in the front of my office, there was 15 of the dead snarling at us. Steve shouted, said he will draw them out. I obviously refused. Steve looked defeated. As he grabbed me, threw me to the floor, shooting at the dead all whilst running down the corridor to the balcony. The dead was after him in seconds, and I jumped up and ran after him. But he was already outside, closing the door behind him. I knew his gun was empty because it started only clicking about 2 shots in. I called out to him not to do it. He looked at me with sadness in his eyes and mouth. And then I need to get into my office. And with that, the dead were on him. Ripping off his flesh. With a loud scream, he pulled them over and fell off the tower. I stared out the window into the clear skies, unable to feel anymore. Breathing through my teeth, I felt angry, scared, tired. But eventually, I pulled myself out of this trance-like state and started walking to my office. Once I closed my office door behind me, a sigh of relief, I started checking for scratch marks. Found nothing though. I walked over to my office fridge and got a bottle of water, throwing down my dry throat. I needed to assess what was going on out there. So I walked over to my office window that was actually a wall made of glass. I drew in a quick breath and took in what was happening out in the city. Nothing but smoke, siren lights flickering in the distance. Most of all, blood running in the streets with no bodies. The light was failing and moving over to dusk. I turned on my computer to search something and found an article about other survivors. I was devastated. I looked at the names of the cities: Dublin, London, New York, Cape Town. The list goes on and on. The world was filling with the dead. One specific post from a man called Boget246 indicated, and was retweeted a bunch of times. It all seemed to agree, and it read, "I am a Marine in Afghanistan, and I have a message to all the survivors to stay indoors. Get water as much as possible. If you need to kill them, destroy the brain. Avoid being scratched or bitten at all costs. You will not survive a bite or a scratch. Apparently, I'd spoken to a medic that said the virus is of the same genus as the HIV/AIDS. I went over to his Facebook account to see if he was legit, to make sure it wasn't some sick prank. All seemed well. It seemed as if that was about the same advice trending on social media. I empty out my safe, cleaning and arming my 9mm, as well as my shotgun and my hunting rifle. Took out my hunting knife and placed it on my desk. Used the boardroom furniture to barricade the doors. I've been cooped up here ever since. And for some reason, I just need to talk to somebody. So this will have to do. I'll keep on journaling until I'm dead. Maybe it can bring someone some solace. My name is Daniel Mclaughlin, and this is day 10